Theodore or Teddy Roosevelt is acknowledged as one of the United States of America's greatest presidents. Not only did Teddy serve as president between 1901 and 1909, he was also a statesman, soldier, conservationist, historian, and writer. In this video, we will dive into the life of the 26th President of the United States, drawing out key ideas, quotes, and messages to help us make better investing decisions. For someone who was to become such a commanding figure on the world stage, Teddy was a sickly child with debilitating asthma. He overcame his health problems as he grew up by embracing a strenuous lifestyle. Roosevelt integrated his exuberant personality with a vast range of interests and achievements into a cowboy persona, but also embracing martial arts such as judo. Roosevelt assumed the presidency at age 42 and remains the youngest person to become president of the United States. As a leader of the progressive movement, he championed his square deal domestic policies. He promoted food safety regulations, prioritised conservation, and established national parks to preserve the nation's natural resources. In foreign policy, he focused on Central America, where he began the construction of the Panama Canal. His successful efforts to broker the end of the Russo-Japanese War won him the 1906 Nobel Peace Prize, making him the first American ever to win a Nobel Prize. Roosevelt was included with the presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Abraham Lincoln at the Mt Rushmore Memorial. Also, in the Night at the Museum movie franchise, Teddy Roosevelt was played by the late Robin Williams. You could say that Teddy was a polymathic figure. A polymath is a person of great learning in a variety of areas. Other great polymathic figures include Aristotle, Leonardo da Vinci, and Benjamin Franklin. Investing lessons through the quotes of Teddy Roosevelt. Quote number 1. Do what you can with what you have where you are. Crimean War General Karl von Clausewitz said that the enemy of a good plan is the dream of a perfect plan. Many people do not know where to start when it comes to investing. The key here is to start. Even with small amounts over time can compound into huge sums of money. In this quote from Teddy Roosevelt, it is important to start investing using the approaches of investing in your circle of competence and making sure that the companies or stocks that you are investing in are at a cheap price. It's like what Warren Buffett tries to do, picking up dollars for 50 cents. Quote number 2. Courage is not having the strength to go on. It is going on when you don't have the strength. When you have an investment strategy, you need to have the conviction to go on. French-Canadian investor Francois Rochon uses the Rule of 3. The Rule of 3 is a framework that Rochon uses that provides him with the conviction to keep his long-term successful investing strategy. The Rule of 3 states that 1 year out of 3 the stock market will go down at least 10%. 1 stock out of 3 that he buys will be a disappointment. And 1 year out of 3 he will end up underperforming the index. This framework is beautiful as it allows you to act more rationally and to think about the long term. Quote number 3. I am part of everything I have read. Charlie Munger, the business partner to Warren Buffett, is a reading machine, and in his book Poor Charlie's Almanac, he outlines that everything is connected. The more stuff you know, the more connections you can make. This is good in the world of investing, as you can then assess more companies as part of your circle of competence. Investor Peter Lynch uses the analogy that in investing, you need to open a lot of oysters to find pearls, and the more oysters that you are able to open up, the more pearls that you will eventually find. Also, the more you read, the more that you can learn from other people's mistakes to help you avoid making these investing mistakes yourself. Quote number 4. Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. Aligned to this quote from Roosevelt is the saying from Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu that he who knows man is clever, he who knows himself has insight, and he who conquers man has force, and he who conquers himself is truly strong. Sir Isaac Newton said that if I had seen a little further than other men, it is because I stood on the shoulders of giants. Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett climbed the shoulders of investors Benjamin Graham and Philip Fisher. And look where that got them. Their company Berkshire Hathaway now has a market capitalisation of over $790 billion. They also own 5.8% of Apple. Quote number 5. 9/10 of wisdom is being wise in time. Part of investing is being wise and not being attracted to any new get-rich-quick gimmick, scheme or fad. Charlie Munger says that it's important to avoid human misjudgments, which essentially means avoid doing stupid stuff and keeping to your circle of competence. This means avoiding stuff that you do not understand. By doing this, you can control your risk in investing. There you have it. An investing masterclass using the quotes from Teddy Roosevelt to inspire us to make better investing decisions.